and we've been in quarantine since early March, almost 3 months of quarantine. I'm in Illinois, you're in New York, so we're not in any of the privileged states where they decided to open up. Here in Illinois, we still have to wear a face mask anywhere we go. So it's not much fun to leave the house here. So, just been doing a lot of television watching and whatnot to pass time. I plan on making a trip down to my friend Kevin's to Indiana in the next week or two since they're opened up, spend some time there. It'd be nice to be able to go out and do some things. Been watching I watched the UFC fights last weekend, which were fantastic. I watched the AEW pay-per-view last night, which was pretty decent. I watched the Owen Hart Dark Side of the Ring last week, which is about him falling from the top of the building in Kansas City and dying in the ring.
I remember when that happened. I actually bought that episode. I was watching it when it took place. I've got to catch up on the Dark Side of the Ring, but that was wow. Yeah, I was shocked when that happened.
Yeah, the Owen Hart one's fantastic. They bring on his wife. It's the first time she's spoken publicly in 20 years since the incident happened, and she gets a lot of hate from WWE fans because she will not allow Owen Hart to be inducted in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Really? Wow.
And, things like that because she's still very bitter with the company. So she.
I remember what happened, and I remember seeing.
She gives her thoughts on that. It's very interesting. And they just take you through the timeline of the day. It's really a fantastic episode. I think one of the best they've done so far.
Triple H was completely just like shaken when it happened. When they showed him, he was crying. He had tears in his eyes, and so were a lot of the other wrestlers. But I see it in when the lights went dark, and they said he fell down. They say, "Oh, we have a situation," and I thought maybe this was part of what they were doing, but it wasn't. It really happened. The guy died. It's like, man.
Yeah, they even had on Jim Ross on the episode of Dark Side of the Ring, who was broadcasting that night and had to make the announcement that he passed away live on pay-per-view. They continued the show.
They continued
the show, which is quite weird. Like, they made the point, if someone dies somewhere, you shut it down and do the murder scene right there, and none of that happened. There was just about 6 more matches on the show. I watched the other night a movie on Amazon Prime with Helen Hunt called ICU. It was a horror movie. It was very good also. Watched a series on Amazon Prime, a sci-fi series called Upload. It's excellent as well. I really enjoyed that series.
I gotta look at that Upload.
Upload, yeah. It's kind of like sci-fi. It's about when you die, you can get uploaded into like this cool world. They like take your brain.
Oh, really? And it's on Amazon Prime? Okay, I gotta look at that.
Like, put you in some like futuristic type world and whatnot. And
okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting. What have you been doing, Rob, to keep yourself busy?
Well, a couple of things. So I'm going to look at Upload. I heard that there's another show on Netflix called The Ozark that's supposed to be really good.
Fantastic.
I got to look at that. I want to see The Invisible Man because I keep seeing a lot of clips about it. It looks pretty good. I saw one day, I was about to say it. It was a show with this guy from The Office, Krasnick. It was a really good show. It was like complete quiet the entire time, and that was one of the premises of the show. If you made a noise, these monsters would come out and kill you. But it was a really good show. But going back to, you mentioned the being closed in and shuttered in. I'm working on a piece right now that I hope to post soon on the website Maga Media about the signs you see in New York temporarily closed. Movie theaters are closed, and what's really sad is you have a lot of mom and pop stores that have been like the bread and butter for a lot of communities, and they like made specialty dishes, or some of the stores had specialty items that you couldn't find at the big box stores. A lot of those places aren't coming back. And while I'm in New York City, and it's you have all kinds of restaurants, I don't like to frequent restaurants. It's just one of my little quirks. I like to make my own meals. But I will go out with friends if they're going out, but it's not something that I like to do. But I got to say that I have a new appreciation for restaurants, because a lot of these restaurants, some of them aren't going to be able to come back. The rent is too high. They haven't been making money. And I don't think people really understand that extra $600 that you're getting, that unemployment and all these other things, these little perks that you're getting, you're thinking that the government is giving you. It's because of the taxes, the tax revenues that take place when these businesses are open, and they take in money, they take the money in, and they send it back to the government. Now, granted, a place like New York, they squandered their budget. A lot of the blue states squandered their budgets, and now they want bailouts. They see this as, oh, this is my opportunity. We squandered the money, giving money to illegal aliens in sanctuary cities. So now this is the opportunity to say, oh, we went down because of the virus and we need to be bailed out. No, you went down because you mismanaged your budget, Andrew Cuomo and a lot of the other blue states. So because of it, because of the shutdown, temporarily closed is becoming permanently closed. And a lot of these mom and pop stores, unfortunately, will not be coming back. And that is a cruel, sad reality. So we have got to open up this country as soon as possible. I mean, and we're talking about the movies. A lot of movies won't be made. A lot of the sitcoms, a lot of shows that were made that would usually be taping, they can't tape, and they hire a lot of people. They hire extras, they hire the cameramen, the gripmen. All these people are without jobs. This is horrible, folks. So you need to write to your congressmen and to your governors and say, look, let us go back to work. Because we're killing the economy. The economy was not meant to stay locked up, and we're inside. We got to open it up. I mean, we have just got to open things back up. What I've been doing, talking about the restaurants, although I don't like going, but I found myself ordering different meals from restaurants and giving it to other people just to support those restaurants that are open. Because I'm telling you, it's hard out there. It is really hard out there. And we've got to open up this economy so that people can go back to work and they can get off their couch and they can feel productive again. And not only that, you have a lot of people that are going to commit suicide. You have abuse that's going on. You know, we got to just get a grip and just realize that the Democrats and the media, they don't want it because they hate the president. So as a result, you will suffer. Let's open up, folks. Let's open up the economy. Let's be safe. Let's be wise. Let's be careful. But we've got to open up the economy. And when we open up the economy, we can sit at our houses on weekends and watch all the Netflix and the Hulas and all these other great programmings, because people will be able to go back to work and make these programmings for us. But right now, things are at a standstill. And it's not where we should be at all. Not at all.
Absolutely right. I seen on Fox News today, they had a guy who owned a restaurant who said that, I believe he lived in New Jersey or New York. He said, we need to get back right now, because if we're not back by June, then the summer is just going to be completely lost. It's not even
completely
eligible for him to even make a profit. He says if we get back right now, he's got a fighting chance to be able to save his business. But
right, and they don't.
The government shuts down. You got to figure too. These people, like this guy mentioned, he has employees who, a lot of them, they've moved on since March.
Yep. Yep, you know? And they have no choice.
Yeah, especially the ones that are working part-time to qualify for unemployment checks. They're not going to sit around and wait forever to be able to pay rent. They've got to move on.
And the thing about
it's really sad what's been happening to these small businesses.
It is sad. And the thing about it is that what you really think is that the jobs that they're taking, with everything being shut down, it's like, what jobs are available? What jobs can they do? I heard one guy say, hey, I'm an Uber driver now. But who's taking the Uber? You know, so it's really, people are thinking, well, you know, I think Cuomo made a really nasty comment. And he said, well, if these people want a job, why don't they go out and get a job at a hospital and be the first line of defense? I'm thinking, are you serious? And of course, the media didn't pick it up. They let him get away with it. I mean, he was being inconsiderate. He has a job. He's a governor. And I don't think he's not taking his check. He's probably receiving his check and everything else he can get. Whereas look at the president, who's not receiving a check. He's giving his money back to an organization. Will the media talk about that? Oh, no, because everybody's saying, oh, well, he's a billionaire. But I thought you said that he wasn't a billionaire. Oh, well, he's making money with his hotels. But they're not, because his hotels are closed. Oh, well, why won't he put people up in his hotels? Well, why would you put people up in your studio where you're doing your broadcast? It's like, think about it, folks. Think. Stop allowing these liberal lunatics to think for you. See through their lies. They have jobs. You don't have a job. They could care less about you. As long as you vote the way they want you to vote and you keep watching their crappy shows, they could care less. So you got to wake up again. Talk to your governors, talk to your local officials, and let them know, I want to go back to work. We need to go back to work. Because if we don't, the country's just going to suffer. And you know what's going to happen? Someone that we didn't mention, China. China is going to be the bread and butter. They're going to take over. They're already in the Western Hemisphere doing all the stuff that they should not be doing. They're already, I think all of this was a ploy on their part to bring us down to our knees. And I think that we should just say, hey, screw you, you have our debt, screw you, we're not going to pay it back. The entire global community needs to stand up to China and say, hey, what did you know, when did you know it, and you need to pay us back. We should be blaming them, not the president. The president had nothing to do with this. And one more little thing before we end this that I'm really angry about is that this new concept or conspiracy theory that, the virus didn't come to us from China, it came through Europe. Okay, you nincompoops, how did Europe get it? It came from China. So I don't care if it came to New York from Europe, it was still by China. It's like, wake the heck up. Like, what are these people thinking? Oh, it wasn't China, it was Europe. So again, you guys are trying to let China off? They're sitting there laughing at us. We were so busy talking about Russia collusion when we should have been looking at China collusion with trying to bring us down. It's like there was a collusion right there, and they won. Russia won because they're laughing at us because they knew we never colluded with them. So they're making a mockery out of this. That's what they wanted. They wanted the division within our government, and they got it. And you people are so stupid and dumb, the media, that they can't realize it. But if they do realize it, they don't want you to realize it. Russia succeeded because they were able to cause disruption within our government, with the media saying that there was collusion, and there wasn't. So while they were doing that, what did China do? China moves in and says, hey, we're not going to pay those tariffs. We're going to do something nefarious. And now look at where we are. Who's asked out? America. Because we were so busy saying that the president colluded that we couldn't focus on the real danger. Barack Obama said back in 2012, oh, Russia is not a big threat. Okay, well, if it wasn't a big threat, how did they become a big threat when President Trump took office? Wake the heck up, folks. You've been taken for a crazy boat ride. It's like, this is crazy. It's unbelievable, Andy. I tell you, it's unbelievable. I can't believe we have such gullible people putting out fake news in the media, and people are believing it. It's like at some point, I don't care who you hate, you got to wake up and say, hey, these people aren't for us. They have their jobs. We don't have jobs. Look at Anderson Cooper. He has his job, and he's sitting there laughing at you. Look at Cuomo. He's claiming to have the virus, and he's flying around taking sunbathing. Look at Kelly Ripa. She's in the Caribbean. And I'm sure a lot of the other entertainers are doing the exact same thing that they're telling you not to do. They're making money. They're making money off your misery. It's time to wake up, folks. It's time to wake up.
Perfect message, right?